August the 30th, 2019. Because I went back on the models and put in the last couple of days of images, and you can see the evolution of this monster. If you're thinking about staying along the coast of Florida, anywhere near where this hits, you need to go back and Google and look at YouTube videos of the destruction brought about by Hurricane Andrew. Also, you'll notice the pictures and the path are very similar to this image. Now, it came across Florida into the Gulf, but the destruction that it did when it hit Florida and halfway across the state was unbelievable. Guys, you don't want to be a part of this. Look, I'm 120 miles north in central Mississippi. Some of the shelves on the stores here are getting bare. But again, 125 mile per hour sustained winds, central pressures dropping to 950. The lower, the stronger the storm, moving west-northwest at 10 miles an hour. Again, that slows everything down, the impact times, but it also gives it more time to strengthen. We're going to be very close to a Cat 5 by the time this hits. Now, the system off of Africa now, over a 5-day period, has went from a 30 to a 40% chance of development. And it's they're talking about some development of the system is possible early next week. Now, look at this. We are at a Cat 3, which is a major hurricane. And the EMs just indicated that it will stay a major hurricane until landfall on this map. We'll look at another one. Then it goes into the center part of the state, according to this, the center of this cone, and moves up towards Jacksonville. And guys, this morning I said that as it showed a Cat 4 coming ashore and then quickly dying to a Cat 1, I said that's not going to work because that's the modeling under a Cat 3. Well, now, guys, up in the northeastern part of Florida, where you see that H, it's still going to be a Cat 2, just like I said. Here's your arrival times at this current speed of 10 miles an hour. You're going to wake up Sunday morning, 8 a.m., and this thing's going to be all over the top of you. So you don't want to go to bed Saturday night in the danger zone, because at that point, guys, we'll use some webcams, and you'll see that the beaches are really going to be getting rough in the storms. Check that out. But you got about a 12-hour period from 8 a.m. Sunday morning to 8 p.m. Sunday evening. You see that? And then it's going to stay a Cat 2 all the way until sometimes around Monday at 8 p.m. Check this out. We're at Cat 3 now at 125. They're by Sunday at 2 a.m., which I think it's going to happen sooner than that, a Cat 4 at 130, because we're only 5 miles away from that. But look at this, Jacksonville. Still a Cat 2. I said this morning, there's no way a Cat 4 will slow down that fast. But guys, if you remember, it wasn't this far away. This thing is predicted to come in slightly, maybe leave 1 foot out in the Atlantic Ocean and keep pumping that, and using the warm water and the moisture and the warm air to keep its engine going. And you'll see that in the models, but this is from tonight at 8 p.m. Most of these models show it coming ashore and going up the East Coast. Now, this is the Canadian model. Check this out. Comes in, rakes the East Coast, comes back out into the Atlantic. The last few frames, you notice it takes a turn back. But now Barry did the same thing. Chantel. Now, the Navy model is very interesting, guys. Check it out. Your color bar at the bottom, you're in blues, you're getting into dark blues right there. Look down here. That's at the bottom, 964 to 980 in that scale. Now, the lower the number, the stronger the storm. But by the time, if you notice, it's now purple. That means it has strengthened. But we'll back it up and look at the point where it does come back out into the Atlantic and suddenly get stronger than it is now. Watch this. The next frame, it goes into the purple as far as the center. It's moving up not only the East Coast, but up the Gulf Stream itself. So check this out. Now by September the 4th, it stepped back offshore into warm water and is stronger than when it came ashore in Florida, and it skates up the East Coast stronger than what it came in Florida. So this is going to rake millions of people. The impact area in Florida alone, they're talking about 10 million people could be affected. But this guy, you're looking at Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, possibly into Virginia, and possibly right offshore something strong as a Cat 4 or 5. But I just wanted to come in, guys, with this brief update. Watch for it. This thing is not playing. I've said it before. You're not going to make it in that area. I mean, there may be some survivors, but there's going to be so much damage that the people that survive it will never do it again. A lot that stay will not survive it. Keep them in your prayers, guys. It's a heads up. Be safe.